Good evening, class. My name is MissTappy, and if you're in this Zoom call, I assume you're here for Poetry 101. If not, you're welcome to listen in on it, but please mute your mic so everyone can hear what I'm saying and we can keep this together and as under control as possible in our Zoom conference call during quarantine. Okay? Okay. This week, we're going to be going over personification. Okay? And all you need for class today is a piece of paper and something to draw or color with, whether that's markers, crayons. If you don't have any of that, don't worry about it. Even just a pencil is fine. So I'm going to go through and take attendance for everyone that's in the call right now. There are no exams in this class. Everything is based on attendance. So really happy to see everyone that showed up today. All right, so this will just take a moment. Okay, wow, it looks like everyone's here today. I'm really proud of you guys for our first Zoom session for everyone to be showing up. It's really great, you guys. Okay, so now to get started, can anyone tell me, or does anyone know what personification is? Okay, so we're going to read a poem that I think describes personification or gives a great example of it. So we are going to be reading from Neil Hurston's novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God, and we are going to read about Mr. Death. So Janie began to think of death. Death, that strange being with the huge square toes who lived way in the west. The great one who lived in the straight house like a platform without sides to it and without a roof. What need has death for a cover, and what winds can blow against him? He stands in his high house that overlooks the world, stands watchful and motionless all day with his sword drawn back, waiting for the messenger to bid him come. Been standing there before there was where, or a when, or a then. She was liable to find a feather from his wings lying in her yard any day now. She was sad and afraid too. So class, if we look back, what human traits did Janie use to describe Mr. Death? Do you see anything? So they described him with huge square toes. They said he lived in a straight house without sides, without a roof. In this description, I see something that exists without any limitations, living in a house without any barriers. You know? You guys see that? What need has death for a cover? It's very powerful, huh? It's talking about how death has no limits. It is so powerful it doesn't need to hide. What winds can blow against him? What could bring down death? Very few things in this world could bring down to death. He stands in a high house. That means that he's proud. He lives up high. He overlooks the world. Stands watchful and motionless all day with his sword drawn back. It means he doesn't have to move, doesn't need anything to exist. He just waits patiently to strike. Right? As we're describing death as if it was a person, we're giving it emotions, we're giving it traits to something that isn't actually a being. And this is what personification is. It's giving traits. It's giving a personal emotions to something that isn't a person. Okay? Can anyone tell me some examples of emotions that we feel? You can type it in. Right? So I would say these are things like hate, love, happiness, anger, depression, jealousy, hope. So we are going to draw one of these emotions as a person. So you can pick whatever emotion you like. I'm going to join in with you guys. I want you all to draw 2 emotions. Everybody get out your sheet of paper. I have some oil pastels I'm going to be using, okay? Sound good? Okay. So I'm going to name her Miss Depression. For this one, I'm going to be using greens and blacks. All right, class, while you're drawing that, I'm going to get up and go to the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, class, I hope you're all finishing up. I'm going to go ahead and present my drawing. If you guys could just submit to my email the drawing that you do, be greatly appreciated, okay? And it will only be added to extra credit to your score. Again, your grade is only based on participation, but sending in your work will get you a couple extra points, okay? Okay. For mine, I did a Miss Depression, and for the personification of this, I made mine a very long, tube-like structure to represent kind of the sucking in of all of the feelings and sadness and even positivity, and just letting it come out the other end as a nothingness, somewhat like dirt, some swirls of darkness, just the feeling of emptiness, and rain in the background, because rain is somewhat soothing to a depressed soul. Made her gray, some darker colors, symbolic of sadness, right? Okay, so this was just a little drawing. I also made her arms long to represent a feeling of weightedness, and that her arms are not doing anything but kind of laying by their side, limp and heavy, but not really of much use. Right, so that is how I described my little character. I'm excited to see what you guys do for yours. I'm sure it's going to be great. If you guys send in one drawing, that'll give you 2.5 points of extra credit. 2 drawings give you 5, okay? Okay. All right, class, I think that about wraps up our lesson today. I had such a good time exploring personification with you all. I hope you all learned a bit. I'm excited to look at all your drawings. I'm sure they're beautiful. Class again will take place next week, next Tuesday. Okay, so I hope to see you then. And let's ace this class together, you guys, especially from home on Zoom conference calls, right? Have a good evening, class.